I think that we understand housing as a network of organizations, as a industry or sub-industry. We know how to finance housing, we know how to acquire housing, we know how to develop it and repair it and all of the things that are housing. What I think we still have to do is to really invest in deeper strategies that will result in economic mobility for our residents.
We still have these deeply entrenched issues that are systemic that we need to really hone in on. When we talk about access to capital and making sure that not just that there's access to capital for African-American businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses, but also making sure that they have access to information, they have access to opportunity. Our mandate was to implement the Small Business Policy Project, and that project was really what launched us into focusing on small businesses. And it helped us to expand our work from small business to workforce as well. We started off with a website called DC Small Biz Help. The website features not just the small business TA providers, but it also features the lenders. It also features district agencies that serve small businesses.
It's just been a pleasure working with CNHED and participating in their various programs. They understood who we were and what our successes, our challenges, as well as our failures were in our businesses.
When we look at workforce, we see that there are not enough opportunities of employment for our residents. And making sure that we're not creating another generation of individuals who are going through trying to find employment and not finding it, or not having the requisite skills to be able to compete in the job market. So I think it's really essential that we pay attention to adults, but also start to think about what is happening in the school system and how adults or young people are leaving the school system and not prepared for the workforce, for the future.
More and more is going to be demanded of CNHED members in the years to come, and therefore more and more will be demanded of CNHED.
The cost of living here is so great. So many people are being pushed out because of the economics.
Higher costs of development across the board, labor, materials, interest rates. And so all those costs have gone up, which makes it harder to, more costly to develop it, but also harder to support with the rents that you can ask people to pay.
We are now faced with post-pandemic conditions that have district revenues down. We have a 20% vacancy rate in downtown DC. We have a large critical mass of people who are still working remotely. I think 40,000 federal employees who have not come back to work, all of which fuel DC's economy.
When the district has problems, funding problems, it trickles down and it affects us. Because of budget constraints, we are far less well-funded today than we were even 3 years ago.
I feel like we're almost where we started in the sense of what the external economy looks like, what the city's need still looks like, the way that gentrification continues to push people out.
If we can continue to expand the continuum of housing solutions that we have contributed to the district's housing strategy over the last 25 years, and then match that with creating a continuum of economic development and economic mobility solutions, and continue to try to bring those two together so that there are investment-worthy strategies on the housing side and the economic development side, I think that will allow us to continue to fulfill our founding vision and mission.
CNHED has its roots in policy, advocacy, public education. And I very much believe that lens, that work has to undergird everything that the coalition does today and in the future.
25 years is a testament, first of all, to the need for CNHED. The need is obvious and the effectiveness is obvious, and I am just very proud to have been part of it.
We've had 3 primary leaders in 25 years, Olive and Bob and Steve. and they have just been outstanding. Each of them the right person for the right season.
They're leaders creating new leaders, and they're amazing leaders. And I'm very grateful that I've been a part of CNHED and that I'm a member.
I'm very pleased with and what we've been able to achieve is just holding this coalition of 100 nonprofit organizations and about 40 for-profits, mission-driven for-profits together through good times and bad.
Transformative development does not have to equal gentrification. It's how you transform, and with the intentionality of making it inclusive.
We cannot let people get left behind. We've got to all kind of come along together, and we've got to fight for that.
Okay, so if we don't want a city that works for all of its residents, and we're wasting our time, somebody's wasting their time, but enough of us want that city. We're the ones that need to be working together to create the pathways that make that possible. We lack will when we lack vision. We lack will when we're confused, when we're scared. We develop will when we start to see the future that we need to have.